everybody. Welcome to episode number 12 of Awesome Autographs and More. Today we're going to be covering autographs I got at the Chicago Sports Spectacular this past weekend. I'm apologizing in advance. I think this video is going to be a little long just because I got a little bit more than I had initially planned. So let's get started. Friday night, we started out with Mr. Vince Coleman. 2 cards for the Leaf 1990 Leaf set that I'm trying to collect. After Mr. Coleman, we went for Dwight Gooden. There's that. And Mr. Gooden, I remember him pitching for the Mets. I saw him pitch many times in person. Was a good pitcher in his day. And of course managed to pick up the Leaf card from him as well. Next up at the show Friday night was Mr. Wayne Chrebet, former wide receiver for the New York Jets. Oops, dropping little things over here. So I ended up actually getting about 5 cards signed by him just because I was a really big fan of his at the time. Almost made me a Jets fan. Not that I'm a particular fan of any football team. I'm more of a player fan and follow the players I like regardless of the team they're on. I root for the home teams periodically, just because it's nice to have hometown teams win, but not necessarily a particular fan, even for the Falcons. And this is nice. I love getting these jersey and other kinds of cards with inserts in them signed. They seem to sign up pretty good most of the time. That's Mr. Wayne Chrebet as I start knocking down all these stands. And yes, I'm going to use them all by the time we're done, people. Next in line, I'm going to do these in order, by the way, that I received them, except for bigger items. I'm going to do them at the end of each day's stuff. So next in line was Mr. Luis Tiant. They were running a special, by the way, on Friday night where all of these guys were $20. Certainly, for me, $20 is worth it for my Leaf cards. And if it's a player I'm really, really a big fan of, then no problem. Anyways, Mr. Tiant for my Red Sox, and I need him for the action pack set as well. So we will put him here. I'm hoping everything fits in the screen by the time I'm done. No, one more after this, sorry. But next one online here is Mr. John Rocker. This particular card didn't come out quite as well. The autograph didn't show up as much as I hoped it would, but had them in my collection, so we got them done. It's actually, these 5 cards are the only cards I had of John Rocker, which is kind of amazing given the volume of cards I had or have from that time frame when he started pitching, but well, this one I think is the one that came out the best. I really like that card. And card number 5, another good one. Again, being at a show like that, those guys are a little bit rushed, and I don't know. Probably could have picked a few better spots to sign some of those cards. But anyways, okay. In purchasing the VIP package for the show, one of the benefits was, I hope this fits on the screen, was an autograph 8x10 photo. This happens to be pitcher Bobby Jenks from the White Sox, I believe from the year they won the World Series, but I don't know. You actually get the photo with the autograph in a holder in a bag, and it says nothing. So it took me a while to figure out who that was. Now, the last autograph I got on Friday night was a picture. This is actually me and former Wisconsin and current Bears defender Jack Sanborn. Try to get at least one or two photo ops when I go to these shows, just because, I don't know, I think they're really cool. Okay, now we're moving on to Saturday. Saturday, the first person I got was Mr. Vince Young, former quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Got this card with him in his Texas uniform and this Titans card. Now, this is a 2022 Score football set, base card set. I have decided that this is going to be the set that I try to get autographed. I have a feeling this is going to be a mistake because there's some really big names in there, and it's obviously all really current players who may be a little bit on the tough side to get my hands on. But anyways, I'm going to give it a shot. So I got my first two for that set at this show, actually. This one was the first. So Vince Young will be the first autograph to be added to this set. Okay, I had a bunch of single cards here, so we'll do one at a time. This is Mr. Chris Sabo. Picked him up for my Leaf set. Oops. Next would be Mr. Lance Parrish, also my 1990 Leaf set. Let's put him over here. Next up, and I did spend a little more on this than I had planned, but Mr. Roberto Alomar. Figured the odds of getting him anywhere else would be slim to none, and so I sucked it up and paid the price. Next, collecting, of course, all of my Action Pack cards is Mr. Neil Smith, former player for the Kansas City Chiefs. And freebie for the day for VIPs was Mr. Brett Saberhagen. Okay, now for the items bigger than, I gotta put these in order. Each one gets better as we go. Okay, first up, I don't know how well these are going to show up here. Mr. Ray Bourque. This is just a pamphlet that was handed out on opening night of the 2001-2002 season, honoring Mr. Bourque. And yes, I was at the game. That's how I got that. And I've been holding on to it for 20 some odd years. And the other item signed by Mr. Bourque is one of these Beehive 5x7 cards. I really like these cards. I have quite a few of them. I honestly don't remember where I picked them up. I've had them for years. But I've gotten them signed, a few of them signed, and will continue, assuming I run into players. Okay, that was it for Mr. Bourque. Now we have Mr. Julius Erving, Dr. J, on these little cards, Legends cards. Might be dating myself here. I think they kind of went out of existence sometime back in the 1990s. So, but these are really cool. I have several of these as well. As you will see, my next one is another one of these Legend cards of somebody else. That was Dr. J. Now these were my big autographs of the day. Mr. Bobby Orr. We got one of the Legends cards signed. Very nicely signed at the bottom in blue ink. And here's the second Beehive card, which he signed in gold. And I don't know how well I can, the glare's just a little bit too much, but hopefully you can see that. Wait a minute. This is too nice of an item to, there we go, much better. That's Bobby Orr, and that takes care of everything from Saturday. Now we move on to Sunday as soon as I get Saturday's stuff out of my way. That over here. Now Sunday. First up is Mr. Bernie Kosar. I've got two different action-packed cards. This one here is the regular issue card from the set, and this is an insert from the Quarterback Club. Awesome cards. The Quarterback Club I'm trying to collect, although there's no way I'm going to get them all because in there are people like Elway, Montana, Aikman, like, yeah, fat chance, right? But anyways, Mr. Bernie Kosar. And after him, managed to pick up Mr. Tommy John. His signature has gotten pretty bad. He is very shaky. His hands are very shaky at this point. Certainly not the autograph of earlier days. But needed him on my action packed, so took a chance. I got him to sign this one in blue, which doesn't look too bad. And this one is in a bronze Sharpie pen. It doesn't show up quite as well as I had hoped it would. But be that as it may, it's done and I have them signed, so that's what matters. Let's see. Next we have Mr. Willie McGinnis, former Patriot. And again, an action-packed item, which I needed, and a card of his from his college or draft year pick. Again, Patriots, I remember seeing them play a few times. Went to training camp where they were, he would have been playing. Okay, next up is Mr. Jim Plunkett, former Oakland Raiders. And we'll put him right there. Then Mr. Jim Cott, or Cat, I'm not sure, again for my action-packed baseball set. Two more sports-related signatures. Mr. Matt Shizer. Thought I had more cards of his, but apparently this was the only one in my collection, and it was a special, one of the special gift issues from the National. If you attend the National at any point in time, and buy a VIP pass, you get, these cards that they have printed up, and every year they're different, but back in the day, I don't even remember what year this was. It says it on the card, but I can't read it. Oh, sorry, no, it doesn't. Okay, but anyways, so he was the free signer for Sunday, so I got him to sign that. And my last sports signature for the day, I probably paid a little too much for, but it's a second autograph for my 2022 score set, Mr. Kirk Cousins from the Minnesota Vikings. Last but not least, there was a gentleman. They have a section at the Chicago Sports Spectacular now where there's people who sign that are not necessarily sports related. They had, I think, 4 signers over there this year. One was Denny McLain, who I've got a gazillion things signed by, so I wasn't necessarily going to focus on getting anything from him. And then they had, I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but they had the guy who played Pinhead in one of those horror movies and the guy that played Predator in one of those sci-fi horror movies. And then third, there was this guy by the name of Tony Daniels. He's done a lot of voice acting and such. He signed this for free for me, gave it to me. It's kind of like his calling card type thing, I guess. But that's one of the characters that he does the voices for, which is somehow related to X-Men, which I know nothing about. But now, the reason I went to him, and I don't know if this is going to show up on here or not with all these cards, he is the voice of Tony the Tiger. I had to have, growing up on Frosted Flakes, I had to have an autographed Tony the Tiger. This was the one he had signed for me. When he finished, he didn't like the way the pen came out because it kind of was blotchy. So he gave me a second one at no extra charge, of course. Well, not necessarily, of course, but anyways, with the nice orange ink. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but it came out gorgeous. That actually might have to go up here in my display. Yep, I think it's time for Ben Grieve back there to go get put away and put Tony the Tiger there. So you're seeing the first change out in my display. Tony the Tiger right below Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Anyways, I think that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please, please, please press the like button. And if you have not already subscribed, subscribe. And once you do, you can hit the little bell and customize your notifications to be made aware of videos when they come out. So thank you guys for watching. This video did go a little bit long, but lots of awesome stuff here. Awesome autograph. I knew I was going to screw something up sooner or later. Awesome autographs and more out for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.